Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. What an exciting day. Donald Trump decided to tweet again, something he is relatively good at, thumbs of glory. If you didn't notice, the markets fell on his tweets. We're going to take a look at that. Also going to do a little update on what I missed going over yesterday, which is Link and Avalanche's price. I actually think Link has a lot to share with us, especially about its history. And from the history, I think we can learn a lot. So we're just going to dive in and start where we always do, which is the longer time frame, this nice daily outlook of Bitcoin's price, because it's so easy to get caught up in the smaller time frames and the minutia of the day-to-day of Trump's tweets on Twitter. So I wanted to start here. I always like starting with this bigger story: buying climax, selling climax, building accumulation. Now, where are we in the accumulation? We're in phase D right now. Good spot to be, and a great spot to be paying attention to the markets, because it usually means we're not that far away from the start of a bull cycle. Officially, I actually think we started that bull cycle in March 11th on my birthday, when we hit the bottom, when the WHO officially declared a pandemic. A little late. I thought they should have done that earlier. Would have saved us a lot of time and money, but that's okay. Here we are now. Now, for those of you that didn't know, we'll start with this because it makes sense. Trump high on dexamethasone. If you don't know what that is, it makes you feel like you're a gangster when you're not in all that great shape. Hats off to you for playing with the new drugs out there, Mr. President. But here he goes. He says Nancy Pelosi is asking for $2.4 trillion to bail out to run poorly high crime Democrats. I don't want to really. The main thing here he's saying is that she's not negotiating in good faith, so he's rejecting their request for their particular movements. Anyways, he also says, when I win, and I think that he's going to, sadly, I think that anyone's going to win. Being president is a sad affair at this moment. Hey, everyone, just write TIHO down on that open ballot box spot. I'm not an American, but why not? You can vote for me. Go ahead. It won't be worth much, but it's better than voting for either of them. So if you do have to vote, you don't want to, vote for me. A vote that doesn't matter. Okay, so the stimulus bill, I do think that they're actually going to end up doing helicopter money, again, focusing on hard-working Americans and small businesses. But what we can see this did to the market very quickly, if we jump into the 45-minute, again, I don't like these smaller minutia type trades, but it's really important to see that what that comment did here. I think it goes to show how fragile the markets are. So we're going to look at Bitcoin and S&P 500 here. We saw a 1.7, officially a 2.1% drop on Bitcoin for the day. The markets have closed. The VIX closed up 5.4% higher on that. And as if you look at it out here on the 4-hour chart, you can see that we are up in general, having higher lows in the volatility index. Quite interesting. And then if we roll all the way down here to the S&P 500, you can see the same thing, approximately 1.42% drop there as well from that tweet. We did break into new previous highs past the February high there that we started at the beginning of the year off. Quite ridiculous, considering we're in a global crisis still. But nonetheless, this is what happens when you inflate asset prices through the monetary system of reserve or fractional reserve banking. So one of the reasons we all like Bitcoin is because it is a deflationary asset, and in general, technology is actually deflationary. So if I look at the Bitcoin perpetual futures here, you can see we have entered somewhat of a pennant. We've been staying really strong around this $10,000 area. So for those of you that join the show frequently, you can see here that we are still in this trading range and still on this multi-day kind of upward trend that we had started not too long ago. So we're starting to peek into some pretty strong areas of support and resistance. Again, I am myself a trading range fanatic. I like either being above or below the box and making a decision. Bitcoin has not decided on a clear market direction yet, although we are seeing a lot of strength. And even more specifically, if we look in at the 45-minute here, every time we've seen these drops come in, you can see these very large stopping actions like this, and this, which is in effect when a lot of supply is released into the market and it gets chewed up. Now, each of the times, lots of supply is coming to the market, but the downside volatility has decreased. This is actually a bullish sign. And we're only looking at the 45-minute. So again, remembering on the daily, we are effectively in a bull market since, again, March. What we're looking for is the SOS and the backup phase. So for those of you that are new to Wyckoff method or understanding accumulation and distribution methods, please go do your homework or join the private group, your choice. Here, what we would like to see is an SOS and a backup phase, something that's before starting a bull market somewhere out in the mid of 2021. Now, I'm very excited about this. And what I want to do is actually compare a few things. I'll quickly go over Binance token as well and just give it a quick little IEI here. See, Bitcoin dropped 2%, but look, Binance only 1.7%, holding strong. I did exit my position last night because I was feeling weary. And if you're in the private den, something happened in the markets. Maybe, I don't know what it was, but the markets, some of the floors dropped out of some of the spots we were had positions in. So if I go over here and I look at Avalanche, one of the tokens I wanted to take a look at today with everyone, here you can see we've been in this descending channel. Obviously not a bullish sign for Avalanche, but I do believe this technology will come home and find its way into the markets. You know, it's been in the background being built for quite some time, so we don't see any immediate price action coming in, and we see no stopping action on the bottom here. See, no volume coming in, no supply being absorbed. Very important to recognize that if these things are missing, it's not a clear sign for entry, and we actually see that in a few other areas as well. I do want to take a look at Link, as I had said I would go over both Link and Avalanche. On the daily, I think Link has something very special to share with us, and it is the story of time. Here, you'll be able to recognize something that I think most of you who have been studying will see. We saw our initial SOS phase, followed by our backup all the way into the regression line, and then a move up, signaled by a massive increase of volume down here, and here again into the second SOS and LPS phase. After that, the whales basically stopped accumulating. Here you can see massive amounts of volume being accumulated throughout the trading range. And then as soon as we left the trading range, there was very, 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 very small amounts of volume. And as a matter of fact, it was decreasing the entire time. This was a clear signal that the market was about to end its upward cycle. Now, what's important about learning and I guess looking at Link here? Well, number one is we can see what happens after you see a breakout of the regression line, how far it can go up, and essentially how valuable that play can be on the long term. So if we, we're getting a lot of negative market signals now. Bitcoin down at 10,530. So in the middle of this video here, we're seeing some market drop. Ethereum, same thing. Binance all showing weakness now. So the floor is effectively dropping out of the market here. We did see that last night, and I was a little cautious with my plays because of it. So I feel confident at this moment, at least to some degree, that things will be okay. Again, I did make some mistakes with Matic and BAT, and again, we went over that in the private newsletter on why we always exit 70 to 90% of our positions in those SOS phases now. So I do suspect we're going to see Link come down somewhere around the 5,400 Satoshi area, which would approximately be $5.50, depending on what Bitcoin does here. And as you can see, this negative reaction in the market right now is all across the board. The markets have just closed, and that high level of VIX is putting a lot of fear in the markets as well. So I like this story about Link because you can see the multiple SOSs and LPSs that took place before you saw a parabolic and regression line take off. Once we started this downtrend, we remained in a downtrend, and we do not see any stopping action in the volume whatsoever. This to me signals that we are probably going to come down lower. As soon as we see that stopping action, I will be interested for a potential automatic rally, but I do not suspect it is in the short-coming future based off what we see here now. I will take a quick look at Bitcoin just because it has dropped, and let's see where it is in comparison to that pennant we were just looking at, as this is in the middle of the episode. So let's see, we're doing still okay. We're not We haven't broke into, oh, this is futures. That's not going to treat me very well. Here we go. Here's a much clearer picture of the actual real-time pennant instead of the future pennant. We are coming right down to this support line, and again, the stopping action here, and signified by this large volume candle that came in, are important to keep an eye on, and looking good so far. I am suspecting if we break this, as I've mentioned before, there's a lot of talk around the idea: do we come and touch this $9,600 line? Do we fill that CME gap? If we break below this, it's not going to look good. We could see a stimulus come in any day, though, and that will continue the rest of our bull market. What day that happens, I'm not exactly sure. So having cash sidelined for making market entries is extremely important, and also one of the reasons why I like to start, and we will finish with this as well. Think about the long-term story, ladies and gentlemen. If you just buy all at once, you're going to end up hurting yourself, especially if you're new in these markets. The best thing I can suggest is to do your homework and study. It is much more valuable to know where you are in the market than it is to even have a position. So if you have a position and you don't know where you are in the market, study. If you aren't in the market yet and you don't have a position yet, figure out where the market is. And this type of understanding of accumulation and distribution can be very powerful. Again, the downside here is we have seen almost every token we've looked at to some degree return to the bottom regression line. Not saying that's going to happen with Bitcoin guaranteed, but it is a possibility. And as a speculator, all possibilities are on the table. I am not attached to the outcome. So if that happens to be what is the case, then I will enjoy that ride. If we do break below, again, if we do break below this, and we'll go over this one last time, if we break above and we see something bullish like this, a very nice sign, especially because we'll get the SOS, which is a positive move. But if we start to come below here and break below here, I will be going short because I don't care about Bitcoin. I used to be married to my positions. Now I'm only married to whether I was profitable. So there is no right side of the market aside from being on the right side. So if it's bullish or bearish, I will let the market tell me and I will move with it. This is Tio with the Arcane Bear. I'm going to sign off. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hold on. Gently give us the thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Caress your mouse. Leave us your thoughts, your comments, and I look forward to being able to do another show tomorrow and see where we are at in the markets. Hopefully this is helpful. Again, I cannot stress enough, understanding these types of market cycles of accumulation and distribution are so powerful. We will sign off for the rest of the day. Thank you guys for all who participated in our Kiva charity campaign. We got to fund 4 entrepreneurs this month, and we are working with some potential partners in the background to be able to do stuff like that all the time. So thank you guys. I'm really excited about that. We'll leave it a shorter video today as I press the stop recording button. Actually, wait, hold on. Everyone likes an outro.